Welcome to Pablo Torre Finds Out. I am Pablo Torre. Today's episode is brought to you by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. And today we're going to find out what this sound is.
I'm not acting, but thank you.
I don't think he's acting. It's just a character. He's just a real life character.
What a delight to have you both here, by the way.
You know,
For
thanks
me.
for having us.
Yeah. You're taking stock of your surroundings, Kevin.
Well, I've seen. I'm a big fan.
Oh, yeah. Waiting for Nick to chime in with a compliment, but none has come.
I don't like to come over the top on someone else's compliment.
Yeah.
And I also don't like to lie. So I
Well,
was in a weird spot, kind of a double whammy there. But by the way, evidently my hair's getting screwed up by the headphones.
I think it looks great.
Your hair has been looking good.
Though I appreciate that.
All of our hair is looking pretty good.
There's
Sorry.
Pablo's
Your hair
got great
looks
hair.
nice,
too.
Wilds has great hair.
Wilds, we know.
My hair's fine. I'm in a room with two people objectively with better hair than me. My hair gets graded on a curve because I used to have a shaved head and people thought that was by force than by choice. So people oddly
By
think this
force.
is like fake hair.
Yeah.
But set that aside.
We're going to rank everything in the room by the time this episode is over.
Rankings matter. You know what? Can I just say something? These people that think they're too goddamn good to for lists and rankings and whatever, that's what life is. I'm not into people that think they're too good for what everyone enjoys.
Rankings are number one, dude.
Yeah.
I don't
we've
even know who's
ranked
number two.
Rankings.
Rankings are number one. As far as ways to organize
Number one
rankings.
rankings. Number two, art. And that's the end of the list.
Just rankings and art.
Yeah. Let's all get claps, though. Good. No, that was a good clap.
Missed it.
Best clap, Nick. Second best clap, me. Worst clap, Wilds. Okay, so you should know that the reason that I've decided to start the new year with Nick Wright and Kevin Wilds here with me in studio is for a very particular reason. Nick and Wilds, in case you did not know, co-host a popular sports television show called First Things First over on FS1, or as they called the show at the start of one episode last year,
The show that's going to vanquish Pablo Torre.
Oh, come on. Don't put that on the air.
Why I'm serious about it.
Okay, all right.
If you want to do it.
We're going to do it together? All right.
And shout out to their co-host, by the way, Chris Broussard, who you could hear at the end of that video just then, just immediately washing his hands of all of this. But my feud with Nick and Kevin actually began a lot earlier than that. And so I needed to begin this episode, which will go unusually deep inside of the business of sports media and the art of giving takes and the crafting of magic words and the ranking of celebrity, because Nick started off originally as a solo radio host, and Wild started off as a television producer that I worked with at ESPN. And I just needed to confront them about the last time that the three of us had been together in person, which was naturally at Kevin Wilds' family holiday party.
Okay.
December 2023, Nick. It's the Upper West Side. It's almost Christmas. I see you.
Yes.
And you say to me something that I've been waiting over a year to talk to you about.
Great.
You
Because
say
I have no recollection.
You say to me,
This is great.
I think you're the second smartest person in sports media.
I called you second? I would have thought maybe third, but sure, yeah. Did I have myself first or Bomani first?
I never followed up until now. I want the rest of these fucking rankings.
Well, do I think I am the smartest guy in sports media? Obviously, I think that. I would think anyone that is in the lane I'm in, if they think there's someone smarter than them, I would lose respect for them.
Is the lane you're in breathing person?
No,
Or what
I
is
don't think
the
I'm the smartest person
specificity?
in the world. That's ridiculous. I don't even think I'm one of the, no. But I'm in an industry where the barrier for entry of intelligence is not exactly high.
How dare you?
And
How dare you?
And the lane I have is the annoyingly accurate smart guy.
He has been right about the Chiefs. You called that one.
Well,
that is at least 1/3 true, annoyingly accurate, smart.
guy. I would just ask the audience, what else are we going to assign my success to? My look? No. I got a great voice? No. Connections? No. Athleticism? No. Likability? Pretty clearly not. It's like, God damn it, that guy really irritates me, but he's smart. I learned something, and he's right a lot.
That's a great take.
I mean, what do we assign Wild's success to? He's incredibly handsome.
Yeah.
He's one of the funniest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
He's super likable.
Yeah. Well dressed.
If he had all of those things and was the smartest guy in the room, I think he'd be president.
But this is the.
I don't know if I got complimented or dissed there.
I think
I think it's 60-40 diss.
It's a real ice cream sandwich of a compliment.
That wasn't great at all.
But I also think it really says a profound amount about you that it stuck with you for 14 months, because it means that you operate under the same assumption I do, that you're the smartest guy in the business.
It's hard to debate that.
Yeah.
Actually.
Who, you want to be the smartest too?
Want to be is a real loaded clause.
You guys are.
Do you know what
See
you
why
signed
this
up
guy's
for
my
now?
rival? Do you see?
This rivals thing is more interesting.
Do you get it?
Having like a. We're 30 seconds away to debating the salary cap. Second apron. Oh, look at the second apron. That doesn't work.
It's so important for Wilds to
talking
be
about the
here.
second apron.
It's so important for Wilds to be here because I think.
So punitive. Can't make anything happen. Shut up.
Meanwhile, Wilds' take is like, why is it an apron?
No, that's
Why
not
is it an apron?
Okay, here we go. No, do the rivals thing.
I want to catch people up on that.
Oh, yeah,
which is that Nick declared on LeBatard's show that he has rivals.
Kevin Wildes makes fun of me because he says that this is an insane way to look at my career. But I just assumed everyone looked at it this way, which is I have a rivals list. Everyone in the media that is within 2 years of me or younger than me, I must vanquish and I must be more successful than. I have to do it. They are all my rivals. And the reason I mention it is right now, rising to the top of the rivals list is Pablo Torre, and he will be vanquished. The top Pablo's younger than me. Pablo made fun of me a bit on the show the other day, which only solidified that he is my rival. And it doesn't matter that we're friendly. It doesn't matter that he's always been kind to me. It doesn't matter that I was at a Christmas party with him. I will vanquish Pablo Torre.
You guys at one point were both like young. I've known Pablo for so long. I'm like, remember when Pablo was like the young guy at ESPN?
Yes,
Pablo's young and you were young.
Yeah.
And now you're 40.
Right. But so.
I am 39.
I mean, that's 40.
So
That's even worse than 40, honestly.
I don't know.
That's a good take.
I don't think that it is unique in any industry to look at the other high achievers that are around your age and measure yourself against them. So everyone that was around my age, even though we're not young anymore, they're all rivals.
And then I tried to set up like a beef. It didn't really take off.
Yeah, I was.
You set some bombs over. You said some swear words. I was like, yeah.
I know. I think I went.
But I think we were on vacation.
I went too
was like,
hot.
why'd you launch the rivalry beef?
I hate Nick right now.
Okay,
Well,
feels
And
like a lot. Feels like an
which camera
escalation
can
that
I
we don't need.
can I speak into? This
They're
one right
all
here.
yours,
Oh yeah,
so-
all of them. Nick Wright, you, Kevin Wildes. You're a C word.
Capitalism.
Content.
Capitalism.
I think
You guys
Riley had
were on a
landed. I'm
break.
like, I think Pablo started a beef, but we're not even going to respond. We're on
And first
break.
things first was on vacation, and I was just yelling into the noise deadening foam in this room. We do have a segment that I wanted to do. And the segment was going to be Take Atonement. And when I texted you guys about this, immediately and unsurprisingly, Nick refused to play along with the segment.
I didn't
Wildes
refuse
was
to play
down.
along.
I was down. You were not.
Again,
Do you
This
want me to read into the court transcript what you texted?
Please, and see if the audience thinks that I refused.
Also, just lie. Say he said something.
No, read exactly what I wrote.
Pablo, you are the number one smartest person in sports media.
Strike it from the record.
And then Wildes replies, I'm in. The next morning, Nick replies, I'm not saying I'm not in.
Exactly.
But I'm sure you guys will understand that asking me to compile my allegedly worst opinions assumes facts not in evidence.
Yeah.
Parentheses, that such opinions exist. Close parentheses, period. New text, this could be a Herculean undertaking.
Exactly. So as I stated before, I never said I wasn't in. I just said it's going to be hard. But I've got some things ready. But do you want to go first since you guys were the ones in first?
You're saying that you have generated.
Yeah, I've got
picks.
some ones that didn't work, for sure.
Is it this one?
I'm ready to move from the flirtation stage to the commitment stage. And I am picking the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams to win the NFC and to be a rookie quarterback representative in the Super Bowl. Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the obvious one. Now, I am curious if Jaden Daniels were to make the Super Bowl, that take becomes basically half right. Because most of the
100%.
people's objection was a rookie quarterback's never made the Super Bowl. And it would have been like, if you say, hey, an asteroid's going to hit Earth in Peru in 2028, and an asteroid hits Argentina in 2028, you weren't as wrong as the people who were like, no way, it's not coming. You were definitely more right. And so Jaden Daniels' season kind of indicates the opinion a bit, but obviously didn't go that way. There's a whole nother sliding doors thing of if Tyreek Stevenson doesn't taunt the fans and the Bears get to 5-2 and Jaden loses that game, what we're talking about. But no, that was a bad take. The thing about sports predictions is they're predictions. And as try as I might, can't flawlessly tell the future. Yeah, that would have been probably, I don't know if that would have been the number one draft pick for the wrongest take I've had, but it's up there.
I mean, it's a take, though.
That was just the one from this past year.
That's a great take, though.
Yeah, obviously.
You're saying the process of the take
That's a great
was
take.
good. The result was bad.
If the take cuts through and it makes sense, it's a great take. It doesn't necessarily have to be right or wrong.
What was your request since you have the text pulled up?
The request
Bad predictions?
It was actually, I thought it was a magnanimous offer.
Yeah.
It was a take exorcism. We all volunteer a take that we
if it
are
was
embarrassed
just one
by.
take, then it wouldn't have been Herculean. I thought we needed like a long list.
We do have this take also, just for the record on that.
I don't believe in the Eagles. I don't believe in their coach. And I'm starting not to believe in their quarterback. Yeah, I mean, 2/3 of that applies. I don't believe in the quarterback and I don't believe in the coach. Now, I was dead wrong on Saquon and his impact, and Brew nailed that.
Yeah.
The thing that I was going to bring to the take exorcism was I did pick the Lakers to beat the Nuggets.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
That was
my shining moment.
James, a bump, a feed, a Prince shot. No! Zero's on the clock. The Nuggets advance. They have won.
Here's the other thing. I don't understand people being embarrassed by incorrect sports predictions. I think that old takes exposed guy existing has been one of the greatest things that ever happened in my career. Because I think there's a lot of people who are like, oh boy, I don't want to get old takes exposed. Let me water this one down. Do I care? Like, what is oh no, this loser's gonna retweet the thing that I said
I like
6
that guy
months
for the
ago.
record.
But isn't there some amount of tension, though, in being guy who is the most right and being guy who does not feel an ounce of pain when he is wrong? Isn't that in conflict? Can you be both?
Because I take so much pride in being correct, I should feel shame when I'm wrong.
It's a classic having cake and trying to eat it as well situation.
How so?
Because you want to be the guy who's right, but also when you're wrong, you say, I don't actually get bothered by being wrong.
Well, it's
a lot of upside, but almost as no downside that you are willing to absorb.
I fundamentally disagree. It is the life of in a different genre, professional gambler.
I knew it.
Which is, I am going to, in a theoretical world, be the world's greatest sports bettor. And I'm going to make millions of dollars a year betting sports And my path to doing that is being correct 56% of the time. And part of that means I know going in, I am going to be wrong 2 out of 5. And if every time I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, what am I going to do now? Then that is, you are the ultimate trust the process guy.
Yeah.
You are the ultimate.
This is unfortunately true.
And so, no, I don't go into every football season saying, well, we're going to be perfect. I go into every football season saying, I'm going to be better than all my rivals. And luckily, all of them, year after year, convince themselves the greatest team any of us have ever seen is probably not that good. So I start off way ahead.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
I
one.
only need a few other things to fall to be the rightest one.
Nick does have a remarkable thing going, Wilds, where, and again, this is not an original observation, but somehow his portfolio includes LeBron James.
I said this a few months ago, and I believe it 100% to be true. He'll never be bad.
And Patrick Mahomes.
You know why teams do weird shit when they're playing the Chiefs? Because staring across the sideline and seeing Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid terrifies them.
And he has marked himself as an underdog somehow, despite those being the 2 items at the top of his list. Can I be prying and rude on the subject of Nick's relationship with Patrick Mahomes and LeBron James?
Sure.
The idea that LeBron or Patrick Mahomes would be in the midst of some take storm and they would see yours and be like, thank you for saying that.
I think they appreciate it.
Yeah.
I think they appreciate it.
Shingun has never reached out to me. all I do is sing the guy's praises.
It's really
I was
unbelievable.
early on that.
No, but Shingun is learning from Joker. He's baby Joker.
Okay.
He is.
Okay.
Baby Joker.
Okay, that's fine. You could have
Shingun,
just
I
backed
got
me
you,
up.
buddy.
Being
I
his
haven't gotten
personal
a follow. I'm just
attorney
like
has
the
not.
pro bono publicist for Shingun. This dude is out here. He should make the All-Star
You really
team.
should get more love
From Shingun?
from your guys.
Yeah, because
Because-
my guys,
Well, hold on.
I rock with my guys
Let's-
hard.
I
Mac
want-
Jones did start following you on Twitter.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
So
That was
does
big.
does that mean that he's not being submitted to the center of the table for a take atonement?
No. I mean, I can get into that.
I thought that that's what you were going to get into.
Never.
But now it
I'm
seems like
never
you're
going to leave Mac
compromised.
Jones basically because Sam Darnold, I'm telling this the Sam Darnold-ification of sports. You want a $5 word,
There it is.
Darnold-ification. Sam Darnold's success has made it possible for me to never sell any bad take anywhere.
Off play action. Stepping up. Launching downfield. And it is caught! Twisting, turning, touchdown, Jefferson. Minnesota's back in front.
Like Sam Darnold was given up on by the Jets, the Panthers, and then when he got to the 49ers, what was it, Shanahan? It was like, he reminds me, like, why can't Sam Darnold be good? Steve Young got good at 30. And we're like, whoa, that's a compliment. That kind of hit my radar. Like, time to get into the Sam Darnold take business. And Sam Darnold is amazing. So why is Mac Jones right now as good as Carolina Sam Darnold?
Probably not. But
Never leaving Mac Jones.
But point taken.
That's it. It's the ceiling of guys that I'm never giving up on anybody until they retire. And like, yeah, I don't know, maybe USFL, he can come back.
But the point you're making is that Sam Darnold was a turning point in the sports discourse, such that because he has had a comeback like this, now we cannot write off anybody.
Certainly quarterbacks who are so situationally coach, wide receiver, offensive line dependent.
Sure. What I'm getting, though, is that neither of you are going to play this game.
No, what do you mean?
You're
play.
both rejecting the concept of having
I've
a
said
take to
3,
atone
Pablo.
for.
You haven't said one of yours.
Ben Simmons.
I'm not giving up on Ben Simmons. He gets his back healthy.
Ben
dude.
Simmons unfollowed me on Twitter. Ben Simmons is my answer.
You're giving up on Ben Simmons?
I think I have
I'll believe
to.
in Ben Simmons then.
I think I have to. My take on Ben Simmons was always, and this is, I'll do a little Nick Wright for you. Nick, if I gave you a flying car, you'd be impressed, right?
Sure.
If this car was the fastest car in the world, you'd be impressed.
Yeah.
If this car didn't have a stereo, you'd be bummed, but you'd still think incredible car.
Yeah.
That's Ben Simmons.
That's such a terrible take. I'll stick with your analogy. If because the lack of brakes exist, you're afraid to drive the car fast, but it can go fast. You're afraid to take it on the freeway, but it can drive above traffic. Then it doesn't matter. It can do all those other things. The other guys in league history who have had a hole in their game, it didn't metastasize in a way that it undermined every other piece of their game. And that's what happened to this kid. And I don't know the full psychology of it, but we've known it for 5 years.
I don't like that Nick has workshopped my take into a better take. Although I think my analogy is still good.
Is Ben Simmons number one fan and supporter available real estate?
Yes. You want it?
I mean, if it's available.
What we have
I
found
will
out
support
today
Ben
is
Simmons.
that Kevin Wildes can become
the number one Ben
the
Simmons
number
guy?
one Ben Simmons guy.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Pablo wants you to atone for a take. I have atoned for the record.
I don't know
You said
what,
I'm not
what
playing
take
along.
am I atoning
I
for?
atoned for the Saquon not working with the Eagles, the Bears making the Super Bowl, Derrick Henry not making a difference for the Ravens. I'll throw in, and
Bonus atonement.
the Lakers beating the Nuggets
Yeah.
in last year's playoffs. So there's four.
You know what?
Off the top.
I don't think I might need to atone for anything.
How about no one's beating the Nuggets in a 7-game series, and they won literally one 7-game series.
That was worthy.
And then blew a 20-point lead at home.
That wasn't great.
How do I remain so confident? I'm always reminding myself, bang, no one's beating Denver in a 7-game series. I'm going to say it 100 times. I'm always reminding myself.
I'm not atoning for that, though.
You can do a non-sports take atonement. I didn't specify. You can do any. Is there any take, Wildes, that you regret that you've come around on in the last year? Or more. We can do more. I'll give you one in the meantime while you're thinking.
A non-sports take that I've just been wrong about. I'm like, you know what? This is good.
He said he has one he wants to give
Yeah,
you.
go ahead. I'll brainstorm.
I'm a morning guy now. I used to want to stay up late. Now I wake up at like 5:30 a.m.
Was that a take or just like an evolution of your life?
I think I was
like mornings suck.
I think I was dead wrong. Yeah, my take previously had been I will never want to wake up this early. And now I'm regularly waking up this early. And it's better.
Yeah.
I get so much more done.
Yeah, it's better. Yeah, the mornings are great.
Also being a dad, I feel like I get to spend time and, you know.
Yeah. That's the take. Mornings are better than night.
Yeah, exactly. I'll fall asleep at 11 p.m., 10:30
Yeah, that's just
even.
called aging.
Yeah, I think that's just maturity.
This also brings us to the vocabulary portion.
So what is this portion?
It's just the idea.
My favorite portion.
It's your favorite?
Yeah, go tell Pablo. Sorry.
Wild, set it up, please.
Words that work for sports debate. Maybe like magic words. My favorite is deserve. Yes. Deserve is one of my favorite words. Does Lamar deserve to be a 10-point favorite? Does Russell Wilson deserve to be a 10-point underdog? Do the Chiefs deserve the bye? Like, what? They're 15-1. Yeah, they do. Yeah, but do they deserve it? It's just so good. So I was trying to.
Right, it's weighted with morality. Even.
Oh, it's just fantastic.
Do they cosmically, merit this thing that has?
So do you know the other ones that we use on the show?
Reaction.
No.
What do you mean?
Nick's so bad at this game. He's so bad at this.
Why would I be good at this game? I don't even understand the game.
The correct answer was disrespected.
Okay.
Is Sean Payton being disrespected?
Okay, I get it.
Those are my, I think.
Another one. Should the Lions be afraid?
Oh yeah, that's good.
Of anyone in the NFC?
Yeah.
And we do another version of that, which is how scary are
I don't know
Bengals,
that one. Yeah.
Are the Bengals the scariest?
Scariest. Scary is good too. Because it's very like, you get immediate reaction. I'm not going to be scared of that.
But the subtext in the best vocabulary words in this way are always the words that imply some level of disrespect.
Yes. Deserve, disrespect, fear, unfair we use a lot. unfair, that blank, unfair, is this unfair? But it's all based on disrespect.
Justice, a cosmic sense of justice.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
it's to get Wilds wants more emotion and less analytical responses.
Yeah.
Typically, that creates the best show.
Yeah, some combination of the two.
Yeah.
But an emotional response with a statistical foundation is nice.
Yeah, no. It has to be based in fact, but a feel to it. Yeah, that's what makes
with philosophical kind of a clash.
So I did high school debate. One of the things that I learned is that a key to ensuring a messy disagreement is to never define the term that you're actually debating.
Oh, and be valuable.
Valuable, greatest. These are things where Nick's brain has already activated. If you were to put an fMRI on Nick's brain as I said those words, you would have had already like a decision tree of just arguments about
So in the debate team, that's something from like I've seen a few debates, but I'm not totally familiar with the format. But
it's terrible.
That's
actually.
something that the initial
you will have to spend
like,
time in your
boss.
opening case, like saying that you define the terms. You attempt to define the terms so that you both agree on what you're arguing about. And if you don't, you end up eternally debating Michael Jordan versus LeBron.
That sounds great.
Like if you were to just dive into it without agreeing on what value means, you would never actually engage, or at least you wouldn't engage with what the other person is actually trying to say until like several levels into the argument that you were making.
That's the fun part, though. Taking the fun. It
Well,
sounds like you're taking the fun out of it.
what?
Well, that's what I mean. Messy disagreement is actually
Yeah, I like the messiness of it.
great to watch two people really good at disagreeing do, but really bad if you're trying to resolve anything, which is why you don't actually want to have a word that is so clean and binary.
I'm not about that.
You want to have something that you just lose yourself in.
Okay. Yeah, now you know.
Got it.
I hate you guys.
What
That was good.
happened?
That
I
was
don't know what
interesting.
it seemed like there was a period at the end of that.
Here's a question that I've genuinely been curious about with you guys. The best form of famous. Who is famous best? Whose fame do you want? The whole world is available to draft. Whose famous do you want?
Is there any financial association to this?
Yes.
Or is it just the fame?
There is financial association with it. You can monetize it. You can do whatever you want.
No. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, do you get this person's fame and wealth or just their fame? I'm not saying you can then make money off that level of fame. What I'm saying is, if you do you understand what I'm saying? Like, do you understand the question I'm asking?
I do.
here?
I'm making
It's
a
a good
list.
Because like this is not who I would pick. I don't think Chris Bosh's fame is hyper monetizable, but he's got a couple $100 million already. So I'm asking if in that scenario, if you were to pick Chris Bosh, do you take with you the couple $100 million? It's probably more interesting if the answer is no, that you're just getting their fame.
Right. It's celebrity.
Do you have a answer for this?
I have a draft pick.
Okay, I want to hear yours, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
I want to be revered among those who know what it is that I do and respect why it is that I'm good at it.
Yeah.
But I also want the plausible deniability of ever actually being identified as or stopped as Mike Trout.
I mean, as far as a number one pick, like, can Mike Trout get into every restaurant? Because if you can't, if Mike Trout and his wife are going like, they said it's going to be 15 minutes, maybe 45. I'm like, she'd be like, honey, you're Mike Trout. Like, I know, but I played for the Angels.
But what if Mike Trout has his assistant that's just him, who has registered
If I'm having
Mike
a
Trout
fake
assistant at
assistant,
Gmail,
then I'm not famous enough.
send a reservation request with the hyperlink to my baseball reference page.
I don't know if that plays. I think I have a better answer.
Let me hear yours.
What do you got?
Sully.
Sully Sullenberger?
Yeah, hero. Hero with a mustache. I think hero for being cool, not just saving lives. You didn't just, you're not a scientist that wow, this invention that you made saved a lot of lives, which is very good. Don't get me wrong. Like, no, I saved lives in a dramatic way in the city. Now, with the Tom Hanks movie, I guess he had to go to. If people were mad at Sully for some reason,
Yeah, but yeah.
I didn't like that part at all.
Did they cancel Sully at the end of Sully?
No, I mean,
No,
remember he
it
was
in the midst of it. People were if the Hanks movie's correct, he was really raked over the coals about did you actually have to land in the Hudson?
Yeah, I don't know who's giving
Yeah.
Sully.
Yeah.
I would have gone to the congressional meeting like, hey man, Sully.
The events of January 15th, 2009 have been well documented, and rather than recite them now in great detail, I want only to reiterate to the subcommittee that the successful outcome was achieved by the actions of many.
I think Sully is just great. Everybody loves him.
But
Maybe
you
he's got
also
some waning
can-
fame, but he's just
right. But so you are
hero is
by
nice.
that
You want people to say thank you.
heroes
No,
nice.
but like
but let me ask.
hero is pretty sick.
Let me definitely sick. But let me ask a question. To me, that answer tells me you don't value at all, like recognized on the street.
No, that's probably a detriment. I don't think famous people like that at all.
So I think
Some people don't.
No.
Others.
Tommy
mean,
DeVito's agent lives
love-
for it.
that's a good level of fame.
But
if your draft pick is Tommy DeVito's
no,
Sully's
that's
the
not.
number
No,
one
no, no.
draft
That's not my draft pick. I was just saying. So it was just interesting that Wilds picked a guy who I think
Sean Stellato.
only,
for the record.
only becomes recognized upon introduction and never randomly.
Mm.
You understand what I mean? Like people hear the name, and I think most people know it. But
If you have the
if
stash.
even with
You
the
lose the
stash,
stash,
I
no
got to
one's
tell you
believing
right
it.
now, I don't know what he. If I close my eyes and think of that guy, I just think of Tom Hanks. Like I don't remember what the guy actually looks like, and if he was walking down the street, I wouldn't know him. What happened to us on the way in? That to me is awesome at that exact level. When we were walking in the building, somebody just walked by. I was like, "Hey, fellas, love the show." Like I that's a great like endorphin boost.
Yes.
I also think being truly famous would be exhausting, and I don't think that would be fun.
No, but if the guy was like, hey, Wilds, and say, yeah. He's like, you're amazing for landing a plane and remember
Yeah.
saving all those lives.
No, I
Like,
agree.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of the name of like who this describes. Because my answer would be someone who, if they want to be recognized, is wildly famous and, like you said, can get in anywhere, no wait, but also with sunglasses and a baseball cap on
That's Mike Trout.
is.
That's the Mike Trout.
That's why I drafted Mike Trout, Nick.
But you're saying that
But
Mike
you-
Trout can't just get in.
Wait, hold on. Are you describing like a DJ? Like I'm Avicii.
No,
And
I don't.
people are like, oh my
no.
God.
I'll be honest. I'm lying here. I'm lying. Whatever level of fame I have, I enjoy, and I would like more. So this, I don't want to be anonymous. I don't think, I think it would bum me out.
It would bum you out to be anonymous?
Yeah, because I
appreciate Nick's honesty
So
because
here's
I
why.
unfortunately relate to this.
But I've never, and you're going to laugh at me, but just follow me
Go ahead.
here. My entire adult life, I've had tiny, slightly increasing fame.
I'll buy it like Kansas City radio. Yeah.
Right. So
Sure,
Kansas
I
City,
buy that.
right. And so at 23, once a week, someone will be like, yo, love the show. And it's just slightly, so not only has it never been weird for me because it's like watching your kid get taller. Like you don't actually recognize it because you see them every day. You know what I mean? Like it's just been, but also I have no recollection of it not being there. So I think Wilds had a whole successful career without any real fame associated with it. And now in the last 5 years has gotten increasing levels of fame. So Wilds has a standard to remember, like, oh, yeah, everything, like, I was an adult with a wife and kids and none of this.
Yeah, you're like a child star, basically.
No, that's not what again,
Kind
that's
of.
why I said you're going to make fun of me.
But to Nick's point, you, Kevin, were a producer.
Yeah.
You were
trying
like
to write
having
stuff down.
secret meetings with Kobe Bryant once upon a time.
Secret, but
But that's what you were
It's a
doing. You were
meeting.
like producing like shows for
Sure.
the most famous and inconveniently famous people.
Yeah.
And Nick and I have been
Clawing up
me
celebrity
pantomiming,
mountain.
digging my fingernails into a tree trunk of celebrity.
Yeah. So I think my answer is like Daniel Day-Lewis.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
Because I don't
All
think
that dude tries to do is hide.
Well, but he's different than me.
It's such a perfect
So,
answer.
but
for
I
Nick.
think
It's
that
such a perfect answer.
I think that Daniel Day-Lewis, if he wants to just go out and go to Walgreens, is able to do it. But I also think it's like, shit, man, I want to be Daniel Day-Lewis tonight. He obviously can be. That seems awesome.
I guess so. You
know,
like
like-
the chameleon.
Yeah, so like
of it.
because I initially, someone like Mark Wahlberg, that seems exhausting. Like he just has to be Mark Wahlberg at all times.
Yeah.
And everywhere he goes, like anyone that feels like I have to, you know what? I have to have security. That seems exhausting.
Right.
That
Mark
doesn't seem-
Wahlberg walks around thinking that he could do a better job of saving people on an airplane than Sully.
He did do an airplane movie.
He also believed he could stop 9/11.
I have another one.
Yeah.
Again, it's even more anonymous. I wrote Winston Wolfe famous.
Oh,
As in the
character.
fictional character.
The fictional character Winston Wolfe, where for some reason he's in a tuxedo, so he must be in.
That tracks with
he's
you.
rolling in these interesting circles, and when who does it? Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames.
Rhames.
Did
Excuse
you
me.
earnestly pronounce it Rams?
I didn't know. I don't know how you pronounce Ving Rhames' name, but now I do.
Mispronunciations are fine because it means you learned it by reading it instead of hearing it. It actually
I may
should
have
be
just
applauded.
misremembered it. In any
It's
event.
true.
And then Samuel L. Jackson, like they're very excited to see him.
Yeah.
It seems like he's got a nice car. He has connections at the dumpster.
You're Jimmy, right? This is your house?
Sure is.
I'm Winston Wolfe. I solve problems.
Like it just
He's there to
feels
help
like-
you get out of a bind.
But not necessarily like I don't want that to be my job necessarily.
No, but you what
like,
you mean is
within an industry,
like-
I'm considered really.
yeah, drug kingpin famous.
That's an interesting type of fame. I do not. I think it's
No.
quite dangerous.
No, I
type-
understand,
type
but
of
it's
fame.
the same type of thing where it's like you are anonymous to everyone except for the people who know who you are, and to those people, you're a big deal.
And in that element, that's also like kind of like a Sully thing. Except Sully did his thing.
I would urge you to reconsider
and do Mike Trout.
taking Mike Trout.
I'm taking Mike Trout.
He gives you drug kingpin fame.
I didn't want that.
Without
that was
having
his. I do not want
assassination
drug
as a
kingpin
concern.
fame at all.
No, I was just trying to. Maybe I should use a different analogy. Phil Ivey,
It's a good level of fame.
where once again, people who know, and
Right.
to
That's a
those
great
people,
level of fame.
that
And
to those
visually-
people, you're
visually
a god.
conspicuous also.
But also you're, you know what I mean, too. So I
That's
think
what mine is, but it's like I can wear a tuxedo.
yeah, yeah.
I'm big on if I can wear a tuxedo.
That was a good question, Pablo. Do you have a list of questions that we should have let you ask instead we just said dumb stuff for 40 minutes?
We've reached the end of the show. And at the end of every show, we talk about what we found out today. Because it's called Pablo Torre Finds Out. So I will ask us to go around the table and we all say what it is we found out after hanging out with each other and finding all this stuff out. I have found out that Nick Wright drafting Daniel Day-Lewis is the perfect answer for a guy who I can't tell is acting or not.
You can't tell if I'm acting?
I think you are a method arguer. And that is the highest compliment I can pay to you.
I'm not acting. But
I don't think he's acting. It's just a character. He's just a real life character. What did I learn?
That Sean Stellato was in fact Tommy DeVito's agent.
No, I knew that.
He knew that.
I saw you at Yankee Stadium, by the way. at Game 5.
We said hello to each other.
Yes, but I think Sean Stellato was also there.
Yeah, I know. That's the bit that I eat. Sean Stellato, you know why you recognized him? Because he was walking around begging people to recognize him and hoping someone said, please take a picture with me. Like, that's why. Wiles doesn't like me saying this because he thinks it's mean. And it is mean, but sometimes truths need to be spoken.
Go ahead. You go on what you learned, and then I'll go.
I also just learned that truth.
I learned I hurt Pablo's feelings at your Christmas party.
I don't think you hurt his feelings.
Yeah,
I don't think that was the
13 months
takeaway.
ago.
I found out that Nick is projecting onto my feelings,
This
maybe his
thing's
own
falling
feelings.
apart.
No, it's not.
I'm trying to find a nicer one because the one that's actually there, I feel like it's not
Take it.
kind.
Take it.
I think you guys are nuts for not wanting to be anonymous. Like, I feel like you're like headed towards, you're going to be in the old folks' home. You're like, hello. I'm like, it's just, I don't know. I don't think that's a.
I'm going to be podcasting till I die. So, yeah.
Just, I guess.
Call me crazy.
Well, it's just, I don't know. The external validation is a little concerning for me. I didn't have you guys pegged for that.
Really? You didn't you didn't have me pegged for that?
For external validation?
What I have found out is that Kevin Wildes is terrible at pegging people for pegs.
No, I did for external validate. I didn't know. No, because you're kind of like, I don't know. I thought the art of the take was good enough.
No.
Like, here, can I ask you a question? If you were on a deserted island, but this setup, just you, do you think you would give takes?
Of course.
That's what I'm saying. But it would just be a mic plugged into nowhere. You'd be like, all right.
Yeah, no. So both
that it's
things
just like
can
the
be
act
true.
in itself is fulfilling.
1,000% that is true. What is also true is I have become addicted to the occasional, what I call it, endorphin boost or ego boost or whatever of the stranger saying like what you do.
Yeah,
or
I'm
recognizing
with
me
Nick
or
on
whatever.
this.
And I have become was something that I do not, is not a positive trait, but I recognize it. I've become very impatient on lines. Because like I still go out to clubs and stuff with my wife. And I used to, there's a line, we'll just wait in it. And I just don't have the capability anymore. I'm like,
can't do it.
I can't.
That's not a public facing thing.
You think that's just getting older?
Yes.
No, so maybe, but it's
my time's running out. As soon as you get old, the older you get, the less interested you are in lines. Like if you're 88, like, man,
well,
I got limited time here.
That part's true.
I'm not waiting in a line.
Yes, but it's also why I don't think human beings are wired for fame. And I think it is unnatural, and it's prior to the last 20 years, very, very, very few people were actually had any fame. And everyone wondered, like, what's happening to society, whatever, that's too wide-ranging. But I truly believe millions of people now having an element of notoriety or fame via a social media following is the symptom of so much of people losing their minds. People get more anchored to opinions they had because you used to be able to have a bad opinion anonymously and change it, but now it's like, shit. 8 years ago, I posted on Facebook that I believed this, and now I'm tied to that, like a bad sports take that people won't let go of. And I think that people have started manicuring and curating their own belief system to what they think their following likes, because people aren't wired to deal with fame. And so I think one of the other pieces of that is once you have an element of it, I think most people feel they need it. I'm not saying it's healthy, but I think it's more typical than you would think of people who've been in the public eye for a long time needing to keep some relevance.
How about that?
What are you
Can we end the podcast with a funny story?
Proceed.
Belmont Steaks. We're there. Fox has it. So we're there. I've got my kids with me. You brought
I brought my daughter and best friend.
Daughter's friend. There's some executives there, and it's just a great time. And then Nick is I felt like maybe I'm just telling myself this, but you had some like gambling crossover that maybe people recognize you from poker because they're people, a little bit of poker,
Nick's
a little bit of sports.
Globally competitive poker player.
Yeah.
Thanks, Pablo.
Accurate.
Nicest thing you've said to me in 2 hours.
Guy comes over to like you're in like little squares, and the guy comes over and he said, "Oh, Nick, love the show." And I'm like, I'm on the show. I'm on the show. It's hard to like consume the show and
the
not
leader
like,
of the show,
stumble
in fact.
across me, It's like I love the steakhouse. Like, I'm the salt shaker. Like I'm there. I'm not saying I'm the star of the show, but I am there, and you usually have to spot me. And then Nick very kindly senses this kind of tension because the guy's talking about the show. And, Wilds, he goes, I don't, Wilds right here. And the guy looks at me and goes, I think he said, do you want a picture with him? And the guy goes, yeah.
Just kept talking to me. Didn't walk away.
No.
Just kept talking.
It was just, he's like, yeah. I'm like, buddy, it's not even on film. It's not even it's just a free, it's not like when I was growing up, like we only had 12 pieces of Kodak and we don't want to waste one. There you go. That's my level of fame.
Kevin
thank you,
Wilds,
Pablo.
Nick Wright. I mean this when I say this. 2 of the greatest guests
That's not true.
in the history
Oh,
of
that was
Pablo
a
Torre
trick.
finds out.
Why
Well,
is
it's
it a trick?
just
Because remember he said it's like a messy entanglement.
Thanks, Pablo.
Bye, Pablo.
Pablo Torre Finds Out is produced by Walter Averoma, Ryan Cortez, Sam Daywig, Juan Galindo, Patrick Kim, Neely Lohman, Rob McRae, Rachel Miller-Howard, Carl Scott, Matt Sullivan, Claire Taylor, Chris Tuminello, and Juliet Warren. Our studio engineering by RG Systems. Our sound design by NGW Post. Our theme song, as always, is by John Bravo. And we will talk to you next time.